What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JFlood201 back with another reaction. And you know that I love to stay up to date on 1090 Jake. That being said, he just released a video. Swifty Blue, 19 Mexican Mafia members arrested for trying to him like money sign Suede. So he's very in depth. If you are somehow on my channel and didn't know about his channel, go check his stuff out. We are mostly a reaction channel. I'm hoping to do content in the future that is original, covering different events, mostly stuff out here in Jersey. So I come with that East Coast perspective. Alright, we're gonna jump right into this one. 1090 Jake makes great content. Make sure to go like, comment, subscribe to his channel. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to mine. And if you want to know about stuff going on in the Northeast, reacting to street politics, hearing about Newark rappers and, you know, Elizabeth, Trenton, you know, all the hood spots in Jersey, definitely go find me on Instagram and like my stuff. We got car content on there. We got lifestyle content. You know, I do be going to church these days, so sometimes you'll even see some faith-based content. But really, mostly I like to stay up to date on what's going on in the streets. That being said, we react to stuff from all over, including stuff like this. So if you want me to react to your video, just let me know. Alright, let's get into it. This is 1090 Jake talking about Swifty Blue.
One of the most controversial rappers coming out of the West Coast in recent years is by far none other than Swifty Blue.
Gangland, the southern side.
Why is he so, I hope he covers this, but like, why is he so controversial? Is he Crip? Is that what it is? Is it he's Mexican and he's Crip? He bangs Crip? I don't know.
I'm right here with the homie from White Fence. Check it out. If you ever in Los Angeles and you out here handling business, make sure you tap in with some solid homies for your own security. The streets is dangerous. Like, hey Swifty, I need some shooters with me. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Yeah. Soft 25 bands.
Oh, that's it?
Soft 20 years, soft 25 bands.
Days
you gonna have some shooters with you. Man, for as long as the whole weekend.
Mr. Check-In With Me himself is...
Oh, so he likes to talk about checking in. That's what it is. He's an extortion artist.
now more viral than ever for all the wrong reasons, as 19 members of the notorious Mexican Mafia have been charged by the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for their alleged involvement in a conspiracy to murder the rapper. Man, what's...
Okay. And he does the clap too. I kind of took that from him. I don't know if you guys ever realized it, but it's a way of testing the microphone. It's also a way of testing your aux. If I'm going to keep doing that, I should probably stop and come up with a different system, like... Because now I feel bad watching his shit, you know, on my channel. I feel terrible, dog.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake. When I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on Swifty Blue.
I could, like, speak for him because I've watched so many of these things. Yeah, fan, I guess, might be an accurate description.
And the 19 Mexican Mafia members or associates that were taken down after repeatedly trying to kill him.
Wait, so, damn. So 19 of these dudes that claim Laime were caught either in like a conspiracy to kill this dude or were part of an attempt. I don't know, he's gonna get into it, but that's absurd. Like, I wonder what the price is.
Within the Mexican gang culture of Southern California lies a hierarchy that is known amongst all, but very rarely spoke on. Those that live that life follow a strict set of rules more known as politics and are forbidden from ever publicly acknowledging La M. On the streets of Southern California.
So we're not allowed to talk about Laime? Or if you're from a street gang, you're not supposed to be like, oh, I get my orders from Laime. Like, obviously, the way I was taught, and I did get arrested, and I've been to Santa Clara County, Now that's North California, not Southern California. But even in North California, you see street gangs and politics that take their allegiance as far as that goes. The Norteños versus the Sureños, or Norteños versus Sureños. You know, the white boy cliques. And while I was in Bergen County up here, which was not for very long, but I hung out with a dude who was Armenian Power. And Armenian Power is like a clique that runs with, I think, Sureños. So it's interesting because I have met, I'm not making this up, I have met plenty of people that are involved in some of these cliques. And what I can tell you is he's right. They take it very, very seriously. But ultimately it goes back to, do you take your orders from the top or not? The top being La M or the Mexican Mafia. The Mexican Mafia speaks for cartels. And what I mean by that is cartels don't do business with like street gangs. Cartels do business with people in La M, and then La M will do business with the street gangs. And they will recruit, so forth and so on. Because cartel operations reach as far as the border. There's a lot of hype and stuff about saying that, like, oh yeah, there's cartels here in America. No. There are people that work on behalf of the cartel, but really what that is that's an assignment to get drugs into our streets. That is to supply the customer. That is the cartel's biggest assignment when it comes to domestic influence here in America. It is to make sure the customers are getting served. All right, now how you want to do that, I'll let your imagination run with that, but you're obviously going to need to employ some of these criminal networks that we have here. All right, now I'm getting off topic, so let's just jump right back into this, but it sounds like this is some pretty serious stuff.
California. Within the Mexican gang culture of Southern California lies a hierarchy that is known amongst all, but very rarely spoke on. Those that live that life follow a strict set of rules more known as politics and are forbidden from ever publicly acknowledging La M. On the streets of Southern California, if you were born in a Mexican neighborhood, you were raised amongst the Southsiders. Primarily known as Sureños, the Spanish term for Southerner, Southsiders control multiple hoods known as barrios within Southern California and are considered the largest population within the California prison system. Entering the Los Angeles County jails to roll with the Southern Mexicans would be known as rolling with the Southsiders. But in prison, just because you're a Southsider, that doesn't make you a Sureño. That title could only be earned through blood, sweat, and steel. And it wasn't optional, meaning you couldn't ask for it. You could raise your hand to put in work, or your name could be called. But either way, it wasn't until you completed the mission or multiple missions before you could even be considered. Even then, as a Sureño, this still wasn't the top of the food chain. There was another level that truly called the shots, that sent the orders to the Sureños, who then sent the orders to the Southsiders. And this elite group is known as the Mexican Mafia. Sureños represent the number 13, the 13th letter of the alphabet being M for Mexican Mafia. The connection between the two isn't a secret, and the power of both groups has been felt throughout not only the state, but the federal prison system as well. So how did Swifty Blue become a target by one of California's deadliest gangs? Swifty Blue is a known Southsider from Eastside Para 13, a Southsider gang on the east side of Paramount, California. Making noise as a rapper, he'd make even more noise for the controversial things he'd do or say, like telling visitors of Los Angeles to tap in with him for protection.
To go. Gangland, the southern side. I'm right here with the homie from White Fence. Check it out. If you ever in Los Angeles and you are here handling business, make sure you tap in with some solid homies. for your own security. The streets is dangerous. If you're not tapped in, you will get stepped on. Believe that. You will get stepped on. Believe that. The streets is dangerous. Tap in. Tap the fuck in.
The shooter to the right of him from White Fence 13 is none other than G-Face, another Southsider who cooperated against the Mexican Mafia when he was stabbed back in the day. G-Face is currently incarcerated and in protective custody. As he isn't a made man, he's a marked man. And according to transcripts, has had a green light on his head from the Mexican Mafia since 2006. As far as Swifty Blue goes, a source—
Yo, that's crazy because it's just, that's so crazy because G-Face is Armenian. I don't know if he is AP or Armenian Power, but he's like some sort of European. He's not even really Hispanic. These things matter over there on the West Coast. For Swifty to be seen with G-Face after G-Face was exposed, I believe, by none other than 1090 Jake, this is all very interesting. Now, I ain't got no problems with none of this stuff. I'm a super civilian, and I say if you gotta protect what's yours, protect what's yours. You know, nobody wants to do life behind bars, but cooperating against the Mexican Mafia is interesting, to say the least. It might not be the smartest decision. If you have to do it, I guess you have to do it. But once you've done that, why are you still out there telling people to tap in with you and acting like you're a fucking shooter when, let's be honest, you're not. You're not, bro. You ain't shooting shit. Unless it's to, you know, protect yourself, right? Or get years off your bid or something. Because that's crazy. How you gonna be a cooperating witness and a shooter? It doesn't make sense.
Also tell me Swifty was dating a woman related to a member of the Mexican Mafia. During a fallout, this woman would allegedly threaten to tell her uncle about Swifty Blue disrespecting her, and it's alleged Swifty said fuck the both of them. He either didn't know who or how powerful that woman's relative is. Swifty Blue was alleged to have been paying a fee for the disrespect to keep himself unharmed. And keep in mind, everything I'm saying now is from a confidential source, so take everything with a grain of salt. Swifty's mouth would get the best of him, saying things on social media that was taken as disrespect to the Mafia, making his money no longer good. It's alleged that he didn't stop paying, but that his money would no longer be accepted. Another narrative is that he was paying, but at some point refused to keep paying. And regardless of which storyline is actually true, Swifty Blue's name was placed in the hat. In other terms, he was greenlit, and any member that fell under the umbrella of the Mexican Mafia was to kill him if the opportunity presented itself. Another YouTube channel by the name of Renegade Media would thoroughly cover this story, but he did it a whole year ago, before anyone knew of the murder conspiracy, meaning he really had sources providing him with information that had yet to be revealed by law enforcement. The FBI would announce a conspiracy to murder the rapper began in December of 2022. Within the criminal complaint, Manuel Quintero, who goes by the name Snuffy, is alleged to be the man who ordered the hit. This is alleged to be the uncle of the woman Swifty Blue was dating. A man named in the complaint would tell an informant that members in Paramount, Compton, and downtown LA had instructions to attack Swifty on sight. La M would learn he was arrested, and word was passed from the streets to prison, and from prison to the county jail. In November of 2023, while inside of the Los Angeles County Jail, a man who was 2 cells down from Swifty Blue would call his 66-year-old mother, asking her to ask an associate if the one who sings is still good. His mother would hang up. When he called back, she'd tell him he's no good. For this, both the man and his elderly mother have been charged with the conspiracy to murder. 2 days after the mother and son spoke, another jail inmate called a prisoner who had a contraband cell phone. After mentioning Swifty Blue, he'd ask if he remembered a Raza rapper who was in the shower. Prosecutors believe this was in reference to Money Sign Suede, the 22-year-old rapper who was killed with a box cutter in a prison shower 7 months earlier. The prisoner on the phone would say, the end result should be the same. The next day, Southsiders were told to handle that shit with prejudice. At 5:50 in the morning when cells popped for showers, 3 Southsiders rushed Swifty Blue's cell as a 4th man would obstruct the jail camera as they beat and sliced the rapper. 5 hours later, a man would call a woman from jail, asking her to tell the member in prison that old boy got his rap session. They didn't really get a good show. Expect them to be performing in probably the 4,000th floor here soon. In other words, they failed to kill him and planned to try again as soon as Swifty landed in another part of the jail.
This is nuts. This is legit, dude. This is freaking nuts. He really got greenlit and then done in by his own people. See, this is why gangbanging is stupid. Alright, this is why he doesn't get no benefit of the doubt. He doesn't get to like a day in court type thing. Like, he doesn't get to like tell them how it went down and why he stopped or nothing. There's no like reasoning with the system. The rules are the rules and the rules are the rules. If you break or bend any of the rules, you're getting done up by your own people. By the people that you helped or you put on in some way. And I've seen that thing happen to me. I've seen it happen to other people. And I'm not a gangbanger. I'm just saying the people you do dirt with will snake you. Alright? They'll make up shit about you. Don't ever do something on behalf of a greater cause. You know what I mean? Like 1090 Jake, he might have a different way of looking at this. You know what I mean? Because his kind of identity is like this white blood, like helped make his career. But you get to a certain level of success, I'm sure those people that helped put him on or put him on the streets are now asking either for handouts or trying to snake him in some way. And very few people that were there at the very beginning watching you do dirt and you doing dirt with them are still trying to help you when you get your life in order. Maybe a couple are, because people grow also, and if you've been growing and they've been growing, hopefully you guys can come to a place where it's like, yo, see, it was never really that serious. But I digress. What's crazy about this is a Southside rapper, right, or a Southside or Sereno rapper who's been putting on for Serenos, bringing mad eyeballs to his clica, whatever you want to call it, bringing them, like, you know, money and all sorts of stuff, having opportunities thrown his way where he could, you know, get security contracts, perform in venues, interviews. He could bring money and spread it around in a certain way that might help some of these dudes that are locked up or whatever, but instead they rather enforce the rules on him and make him a warning sign to other people about how serious this lifestyle is. I think this is foolish and short-sighted. But, hey, man.
Jail. But before this would happen, Swifty was released, essentially saving his life. In March of 2024, members would communicate through TikTok stating the rapper was on live outside of his family's home. An armed Southsider would drive to the house at 1 a.m., sending a picture of a gun in a cup holder of his car, and replying on TikTok saying he ain't here. Members were later sent to vandalize Swifty's home, tagging Swifty Blue 187, a sign he's marked for death. Every step of the way, from green lighting, calling to confirm he's no good, to driving to his home, are all being considered acts within the conspiracy to murder Swifty Blue. Every participant.
This is very true though. Like, I hate to say it, but they actually have a great case. Like, there's mountains of evidence.
Participant that made a call, gave a code, or sent word is being charged in the conspiracy to murder the rapper. And to be quite honest, I'm surprised that he's still alive. The thing is, this arrest does nothing for Swifty Blue. According to the information we have, he's been marked for death since 2022, and it doesn't matter if it's 2042. His name can never come out of that hat until his ticket has been punched. His only escape would be to leave California entirely, but his career relies on his gangster image and remaining in the spotlight. Disrespecting a made man within the Mexican Mafia is never a wise choice, but it sounds more so that it was an opportunity to extort the rapper, and he refused. It's the same storyline for Money Sign Suede. Suede was a resident, meaning he lived in Los Angeles, but he didn't gangbang. When sentenced to prison, he rolled with the Southsiders due to his Mexican heritage, but when it came time to pay respects to the higher-ups by literally paying for their respect, he refused and bled out in the prison shower because of it. The extortion of those with money has led to the demise of those with promising careers because of an affiliation to a group that flourishes not in luxury, but in the streets and prison. While Swifty Blue has never cooperated with the police, his unwillingness to cooperate with the strict politics of his affiliation may very well be the cause of his death in the future. Now, this is a lot to take in. In my opinion only, if he disrespected somebody he shouldn't have and is willing to make it right, I think that's how it should have went. Instead of risking the freedoms of many over one and essentially 19 people being charged in a conspiracy that can end horribly for all 19 of them. Now, from my understanding, the Southsiders are under very strict politics, and if he snitched, or if he did some weird shit, or did something to cause harm to one of his own, it would make more sense for this level of aggression. But if this is truly a scheme to extort a rapper...
Yo, but here's the thing, 1090 Jake. Duh. It's all about money in the end. Like these street codes that they claim to uphold matter only so much, because I've seen people get around some of that strict stuff because they have that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure you've seen that too. So it being about money at the end of the day is the one thing that doesn't surprise me about the story.
In that sense, I don't know if I can necessarily fault Swifty Blue for not wanting to be extorted, because it's like, at the end of the day, even though you fall under certain politics as a gangster yourself, right, you're gonna feel tried knowing you have to give up something. You're giving something up, and it goes against the foundation of your core, like wait a minute, I'm the one that does the extorting. I'm the one telling people to tap in for $25,000, and I'm gonna make sure they're good. Now I gotta pay somebody else to make sure I'm good? I'm the gangster. So, I'm gonna be honest, in my opinion, it sounds like he's in a situation he can't get out of, in a place where his enemies outnumber him. And there's not much he's gonna be able to do, because he can't take on the entire Southside car.
No, of course not.
The only thing that I can think of that would essentially save him and his career, move to Miami.
Move to Miami.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Miami.
Fucking 1090 Jake's out here fucking telling people to come to Florida, bro. Like he's like selling land or something. Listen, he's not wrong though.
It's a different place. You can still have the same image. You can still do what you do. You're just not gonna be under those politics because it's Miami. Now, yeah, anyone can book flights, this and that, but after what happened with Lil Durk, I don't think anybody really wants to do that. This organization is clearly powerful because of how many people in California don't speak on them. But there's also a message behind this video. Look at the situation with Money Sign Suede, right? He went to prison, rolled with the Southsiders. And this is the thing, is everybody is going to have a use. The men that go in there and they're broke, they have nothing to offer but violence. That's why when your name gets called or you raise your hand, you're getting sent to go do that. You're about to put in some work, you have nothing else to offer. But when these rappers come in, even if these rappers aren't famous, you've got guys in prison that know nothing about going viral. They don't understand it. Their mind doesn't comprehend it. Oh, he's got millions of views. All they hear is the word million. This might be a broke rapper who went viral, and he might not even have gone viral on his own page. It might have been another page that posted him and it went viral on their page. But they heard the word million and they think you got money. Okay, well, we're not gonna send him to go stab nobody. He just gotta put some of that money in. You gotta, put some funds into the kitty.
Yo, he's not wrong.
People don't want to do that, and it ends how it ends. Now, this case was investigated by not only Los Angeles, but the FBI. It isn't a federal case, it's a state case, but with the FBI's assistance, I wonder how much that's gonna play out or have an effect on the way this case plays out as far as them being found guilty. But like I said, this specific organization doesn't flourish in Beverly Hills, they flourish in prison. Meaning if Swifty Blue does anything to wind up in certain places, it's that much more of a chance they get what they want, which is essentially him. But hey, let me know y'all's thoughts and opinion in the comment section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. Till next time.
Dang. So
What?
So the takeaway, great video. Go like, comment, subscribe to this stuff. The takeaway is, don't mess with the Mexican Mafia. Lion Meg. Don't go viral and then go have to do some time. Don't play in the streets, period, pretty much. Like, what does it have to offer? Unless you are really from a broken home environment. Unless mom and dad are not together. You maybe even never met mom or never met dad. Unless there's violence in the household. Unless you're from the block. Unless you really are growing up in poverty, worried about where your next meal is coming from. Don't do this shit. Don't do it. Don't do it. As somebody who got clowned for being not from that area or not from the hood and doing hood shit, I had to learn that lesson the hard way by being naive and ending up in places like jail. Being worried about how long I'm going to do in prison. And as a result, 3 arrests and stuff like that. It's not one of those places that I advocate for, and that's why I have my channels. I'm telling you guys, the real truth is, screw this stuff. Get out of there. Go do something like Swifty Blue because he's making music. And the only sad part is that he's kind of reaping what he sows, because he's out there with G-Face, who ends up being a cooperator, and he's saying, tap in with me, check in with me, otherwise you might get got. Like, that's what happens. You act like that. There's always somebody bigger and tougher and badder. There's always somebody who put in more work than you. You're not Scarface. Nobody is. And even Scarface got in the end, right? Whether it's the federal government that's the big bad wolf, or whether it's your rivals. Do something positive with your life. Read a book, hit the gym, go to church, care about your friends and family, invest in yourself. Because there's nothing else to do. Like, trust me, that's what you're going to end up doing if you do get locked up anyway. Is you're going to be in there going to church. You're going to be in there reading a book. You're going to be in there, doing push-ups anyway. So why not make the most of your life while you already have your freedom? Because this stuff is going nowhere. But yeah, love 1090 Jake's content. Thank you guys for watching it. Check out the full-length reaction. All right. And make sure to follow me on Instagram. That's JFlood201. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Probably dropping more PlayStation content. I've been playing a lot of Warzone.